Click on the subscribe button, especially the bell on the right side. Otherwise, you will miss the latest videos.
Okay, so welcome everyone to today's session. Today is a slightly different session. Not about the planets, not about the yogas, not about dashas, but today is about tattvas, right? Tattvas, we all know tattvas is a very interesting concept. We all know that there are 5 main Panch Mahabhut or Panch Tattvas which are available. Now, these tattvas has some correlation to the astrology also. I mean, these tattvas are basically the 5 primordial elements, right? So they are everywhere. Anything that you see or touch is built of one tattva or another, or sometimes they are built of combinations of different tattvas, right? So tattvas are omnipresent. There are 5 tattvas we all know. And these tattvas also have an influence on the nature of the native. So you, me, all have some tattvas which is more prominent than the other tattvas. And what we will try and do today is we will try and understand these 5 tattvas and then also understand their characteristics. And then we will try and learn how these tattvas or how these characteristics of these tattvas also affect our personalities. So that will be the theme of today's session. So we'll start with learning about the basic tattvas, what tattvas are, and so let me share the screen. You are able to see my screen. Okay. Hopefully you are able to see my screen and you are able to see the screen with a slide which says tattvas at birth, right? Okay. So as we all know, there are 5 tattvas, 5 Panch Mahabhut, right? So Akash, Jal, Prithvi, Agni, Vayu. These are our 5 tattvas. Now the definitions or the effects of these tattvas are given in Saravali. In Saravali is one of the books, one of the classics, as we all know. Again, tattvas are not just given in Saravali, but they are also given in many other books. But I have taken Saravali because Saravali, we all know it's one of the classical text on astrology. So it's a very important book for all of us. So if you are in astrology, then obviously you will read Saravali at some point or other, right? So it's a book which you cannot and should not ignore. So you have like all the other classics. I mean, I like to read classics. So BPHS, we all of us should have BPHS. We should have Saravali. We should have Faladipika by Mantreshwar. So these are like basics, right? So Jatak Tattva, Brihad Jatak, all these books are like all of us should read. So, and this is like one of the most prescribed, one of the most important books in different classical texts, right? So these are there are slokas given in Saravali. So the sloka that you see is about effects of Akash Tattva. So here the again, I'm not going to read the Sanskrit sloka, and I tried to paste the Sanskrit sloka, but for whatever reason the Sanskrit was not coming out correctly. So I've kind of skip the Sanskrit shloka for most part, but let's start with the Akash Tattva. So, effect of Akash Tattva. So, one with the prominent characteristics of ether will be skillful in grammar and meaning, be an expert in justice, be bold, knowledgeable, will have a broad face and peculiar physical joints, weak hands and feet, and be quite tall. So, this is Akash Tattva. Akash Tattva, also known as ether, right? So, this is our Akash Tattva. Then, in the same book, Birth in the Akash Tattva. So, there is a sloka given by our Rishi, Kalyan Verma, and he has written a sloka. Again, I don't have the sloka, but this is the essence of the sloka, and this is the translation as given by R. Shantanam. One born with the reflection of Akash Tattva will be endowed with the physique with brightness of crystal and of gem. So basically, it means that anybody who is born with Akash Tattva, they will have like a crystal clear skin and probably a skin which has a lot of shine to it. Just as wealth confers happiness, this reflection will make one achieve effects of three vargas. So here, Rishi is praising this tattva, Akash Tattva, and here Rishi is saying that anybody who is born or has a reflection of Akash Tattva, which means basically has some connection to the Akash Tattva, will be able to achieve the effects of three varga. Three varga is your dharma, arth, kam. And what Rishi says is that after finishing these dharma, arth, kam, you move towards the fourth or the final varga, which is moksha. So dharma, arth, kam is what we generally deal with day in and day out, and anybody who is born with Akash Tattva will be able to achieve the effects of three vargas. So they'll be able to complete their duty in these three areas of their life. So dharma, arth, kam, and then after they complete their duty, after they finish their karma related to dharma, related to artha, and related to kam, they will then move to the moksha or the final emancipation. So again, Rishi is kind of praising those who are born in Akash Tattva. Then after Akash, we have description of Jal Tattva. Jal Tattva, again we know, water element. The native with predominant waterly nature will be quite charming, will endure heavy loads, will speak sweetly, be tremulous in appearance, will have many friends, be a king, and will not be lastingly bold. So this is a soft tattva. Jal, water element, as we all know, water is a very malleable substance. So if you pour a glass of water on any surface or any object, it will take the shape of that object. So it's a very flexible, very wavery, very adjusting tattva. Has many friends, be a king, will not be lastingly bold. I mean, they are not very bold. They are not very aggressive. They give up their anger. They speak sweetly. So that's about Jal Tattva. And then here are the effects of birth in Jal Tattva. So one born in reflection of waterly Tattva be glossy. Glossy means they will have a shine. They will have like you know the paints in the house that we have are glossy, semi-glossy, and they have matte finish. So this is the glossy, which means most shiny finish. Will have complexion of white durva glass. Will receive protection as if from the mother. So they will always be protected by somebody or other, and they will prosper. So these are the effects of birth in Jal Tattva. Then comes the Vayu Tattva. So Vayu Tattva is the air element. One with a prominent airy nature will have emaciated body, be easily given to anger, be deeply merged in his work, be of wandering disposition, be liberal, fair in complexion, and be inviolable king. Somebody who cannot be defeated. So air, one of the things that we need to keep in mind is emaciated body. So they will have like thin, lean body structure. They'll be given to anger easily, and they are generally engrossed in their work, in their own world. They will be of wandery disposition, so they will go from one place to another. They like to roam around because wind, we all know, it's unstable. So wind is always flowing. It's very fluid. Unlike air, which is more stable. Oh, sorry, like air is like air and wind is same. So and then birth in Vayu Tattva, one born with the reflection of Vayu Tattva will be akin to black clouds. They're going to cause heavy rains, will emanate foul smell, be very foolish, have dirty and coarse physique, be subjected to great miseries, will experience poverty, diseases, evils, financial destruction. Again, not everything applies verbatim. So again, you have to take it with caution of salt. Not everything will apply verbatim. These are high level characteristics. Not every person who is born with Vayu Tattva will be foolish. Not everybody born in Vayu Tattva will be full of miseries, and same for other tattvas also. These are broad applications of these tattvas. Not everybody born in Akash Tattva will achieve all the three vargas, which is Dharma, Arth, Kam, and then finally go for moksha. So, I mean, it will not happen in all the cases. And then Agni, one with a prominent fiery character, will be valorous, be hunger stricken, be very sharp, learned, emaciated, fair in complexion, inimical, will have beautiful arms, will be voracious eater, and be tall. Fire, Agni. They are hunger stricken because they are always hungry, because the fire in their stomach is always burning and it is always wanting more and more things to digest. They're very sharp. They know what is right, what is wrong. They are very intelligent in that way. They are able to understand what is going on in somebody else's mind. Fair complexion, fire, we all know it's not. Fire is obviously it's yellow, white in color, right? So the complexion of fire is again light in color. So again, fair in complexion is what is being said here. Inimical, they are generally fighting. They are generally having discussions, debates. Have beautiful arms. So arms is also related to fire because arms. If you have seen the fire of any sort, right? So they are always, fire is always moving. So fire cannot be in one direction all the time. So I mean, it will move, and so are the arms, because they get to do things. Arms help us to do things with. So the voracious eater, because their Jataragni is very strong. Their stomach, the digestive fire is very strong. So that's why they are voracious eater, and they are tall. So fire grows. Fire eats and becomes taller and taller and is stronger, right? So that's why they become very tall. Then one born with the reflection of Agni Tattva, be bright as burning flame. Again, burning flame, fire, Agni, we all know the linkage. Will confer severe punishment. So Agni can Agni can destroy anything. It can destroy anything completely. So they can give strong, severe punishments. Will conquer all of his enemies. So Agni can person with a strong Agni can are very aggressive. They will fight. They know how to win over others. And the earth by their own valor will possess jewels, gold, etc. Gold is also very much related to the Agni Tattva. Will attain success in all his undertaking, be free from diseases and grief. So if your Jatar Agni is strong, you are typically will be free from diseases. The concept in the Ayurveda says that if your digestive system is strong, the basic premise of Ayurveda is if your digestive system is strong, then you will be free from diseases. So if your Agni Tattva, which is Jatar Agni or the digestive fire in the body, is working at an optimal level, then obviously you will not have any diseases. So that's why it's been said that the person with a prominent Agni Tattva or somebody who is born with Agni Tattva will be free from diseases. Then comes our last Tattva, Prithvi Tattva. So one with a earthly nature will emanate good smell of camphor. They always have some kind of a smell because all the smell comes from the earthly elements. Prithvi Tattva always has a smell. So smell is to do with your Prithvi Tattva. Any sort of good smell, bad smell, all of these smells are your Prithvi Tattva. Good smell of camphor, of jasmine, of blue lotus from this person will enjoy abundantly, will possess voice akin to that of a roaring lion. So they will have a very strong voice, very deep voice. Be firm in disposition. Prithvi Tattva, we all know it's like a rock, right? So rock is very strong. You cannot change the shape of the rock. So that's your Prithvi Tattva. So they are very firm. You can feel Prithvi Tattva objects. Everything that you can touch, which is hard, is your Prithvi Tattva. That has prominent Prithvi Tattva. So they are it's firm in disposition, and then be endowed with prowess. They are also strong. They can endure a lot of pain, suffering. They have a lot of prowess. Then birth in earthly tattva, one born with the reflection of Prithvi tattva will emanate smell from body akin to the smell coming from the earth when is sprinkled with the fresh drizzles. So this is basically again here Rishi is trying to uh, again show us the link between the smell and the Prithvi tattva, and he is comparing the smell which comes out of the water, comes out from the land after the first rain, after the rain which is coming after full period of summer. So the first rain that comes after the hot summer, the smell which comes during that time is what is being compared here with the smell of Prithvi Tattva. Will have charming teeth, nail, hair and body. He will attain merit and happiness and be dear to all. Now, Prithvi Tattva is a very special Tattva in terms of Prithvi is your Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi represent your Mother Earth. Right? So they are always, they will always attain merits and happiness and be dear to all. because Lakshmi denotes the wealth. So and Prithvi Tattva has Prithvi has all the jewels, all the money, all the gold, silver, diamonds, everything. Prithvi has everything. So that's why goddess Lakshmi is related to the Mother Earth, and Prithvi Tattva is your element of planet Earth. So then there is a link of planet and the Tattvas. So all the 7 planets, again Rahu, Ketu are not mentioned here, but again you can take Pujavat Ketu and Shanivat Rahu. So in that way, Agni Tattva is basically represented by your Mars and Sun. Bhu Tattva or Prithvi Tattva or Earth element is given to Mercury. Vayu Tattva is given to Saturn. You can also take Rahu for Vayu Tattva. Akash Tattva is Jupiter. Jal Tattva is your Venus and Moon. Okay, I think I've kind of gone through a lot of slides. So do we have any questions on anything which I've discussed so far? We spoke about 5 tattvas. We have seen the effects of birth in with the prominence of any of these 5 tattvas. Basic definitions of 5 tattvas we discussed.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself. I have given the rights.
So, sir, Rahu Ketu will be which tattva?
So Rahu is Shanivat Rahu and Kujavat Ketu, right? So Shani is Vayu Tattva. So Rahu can be Vayu Tattva and Ketu is similar to Mars, which is your Agni Tattva.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Aspects we see in the chart to identify which tattva is dominating.
Yeah, that is I will cover that in a moment.
Sir, you have given an idea of like Earth denotes to goddess Lakshmi. She is the deity. Can you give some idea about the other tattvas?
Yes. So other tattva, Agni is Agni.
No, Agni is deity.
Yeah, Agni is the deity for Agni tattva. Agni resides.
Okay, thank you.
And then Jal tattva is Varun. Vayu tattva is Pavan. Pavan Putra Hanuman. Pavan Dev. And then Akash tattva, I think Lord Shiva presides over Akash tattva, if I'm not mistaken. Prithvi tattva is Lord Vishnu or Lakshmi. So again, Prithvi tattva is Lord Vishnu, Lakshmi.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? I see.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I just joined. Can you just like brief, like, little introduction, what is you teach? I just joined 2 minutes.
Sure. So I covered 5 tattvas and the effects of 5 tattvas birth in the 5 tattvas. Again, this video will be uploaded on YouTube. So hopefully you will be able to watch it and cover yeah, you'll be able to review it and be able to see what did I cover, because I already spent like 15-20 minutes on the subject. So if I have to go all over again, it will be waste of time for others.
Okay, sir. I hope little bit only, just because if next we have to go ahead that full meeting, then I should know that what is happening. Little bit only, you can brief, you can give me the idea what you.
There are 12 slides which I went through. So, and it was like over half an hour. So maybe again, 5 tattvas is what I went through. The effects of birth in 5 tattvas is being discussed so far. So you probably understand a little bit about 5 tattvas, right? So that is I just built upon that basic understanding of 5 tattvas, and we will kind of continue to discuss those.
Okay, sir.
Hopefully next class onwards you will join on time. So
No, sir, I was in a temple, so that is why I couldn't on.
that's okay.
Mars represents the Pavan Putra Hanuman. And you said Vayu Tattva is also represent the Pavan Putra Hanuman.
Yes.
And here is Saturn and Mars is in Agni Tattva.
Saturn is in Agni Tattva?
No. Saturn is in Vayu Tattva.
Yes.
But you said Vayu Tattva represents the Pavan Putra Hanuman, right?
So Pavan Dev resides over the.
Okay. It's not a represent to Hanuman, it's a represent a Pavan Dev.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. Alok ji.
My question is that when we are considering these tattvas, this is related to time of birth.
There are 5 factors. There are many ways to relate the chart of the native with these tattvas. I will cover that in a moment.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like we are good with
Sir,
all the
I have a question. Like you said, ki earthy element is basically known for smells. Same like Agni, you said Jathar Agni. What about Vayu, Akash and Jal? Jal, I understood water, but what about Vayu and Akash? How do we identify?
Jal is the water element, right? 70% of the body made up of water. Water, even the earth also, Mother Earth, 70% of the earth's surface is water. So
Yes.
water is everywhere. Water is what causes the rain. Water is essential for the functioning of body. Right? So without water, nothing can happen.
Yes.
And then the other air is you out of all the tattvas, without air you cannot survive for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. You can stay hungry for few days. You can live for few hours without water, but you cannot live without air for more than few minutes. Right? Because earth is everywhere. You have to have earth. Earth is the the air is the pran. There are 5 types of vayus. There are 5 types of Vayu which resides in our body. So these 5 vayus are Apan Vayu, Saman Vayu, Pran Vayu, Udan Vayu, and Vyan Vayu. Apan, Saman, Pran, Udan, Vyan. So these are 5 types of Vayu which resides in our body. Pran Vayu, if that goes out, you are finished. And then Apan, Saman, Udan, Vyan, they are all related to our functioning of body. When we move, there has to be a force in the body, and that force is also because of the Vayu Tattva. The movement is your Vayu Tattva. Joints are your Vayu Tattva. The muscle in the body is your Prithvi Tattva. Again, there is a lot of correlation between the Ayurveda and astrology, and again, Tattvas are like Tattvas, everything is built from Tattvas, right? So Tattva is everywhere. We can go on and I can again talk about it like for
Yes, I think this is going to be a vast class. So,
yeah.
So,
you
Vidhan,
missed
sir, I
Akash
can
Tattva.
add one more point here.
Yes.
Like we are correlating the tattvas and planets. Okay, but there are more to it. Okay, like for example, these tattvas are also equivalent to nakshatras and planets. Oh, sorry, the signs. Okay, now if we see, we have assigned planets to every tattva. But if you see the signs, Akash tattva is empty. Okay, because Rashi is not made up of 5 tattvas. So we have only 4, if I'm correct. Okay, so Akash is not there. Same thing with the Panchanga. Panchanga again contains 5 elements, and every element is correspondent to one tattva. Okay, so there also that Akash tattva, and in planet we consider Jupiter, but in nakshatra we have all 5 elements. Okay, so this Akash tattva is very important because this is a binding tattva. Okay, or we in esoteric Jyotish, in Adhyatma Jyotish, we call Akash tattva as a Sandhi tattva. Okay, which actually binds together. What is that binding? Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Jal. It means from Aries to Cancer. Okay, this is a one full range. Okay, after Cancer, when Leo starts, okay, so there is a Sandhi in between Cancer and Leo. Same kind of Sandhi is available after Sagittarius sign. So like this Sandhi, this binding force and this gap in between, that is the Akash tattva. Okay, or like Rajendra Singh, Akash is a space which holds everything. Okay, so that is the Akash tattva. Akash tattva is important, and in our body also, Akash tattva is very important, and this Akash tattva also acts as a binding force in our body. Okay, so yeah, so like this, I think Vidhan sir has already created this slide, so he supposed to cover this topic. Yeah, Vidhan, you can continue. I thought this is not present in the slide,
No.
so that's why.
I have, yeah. Again, it's a vast topic, but yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for adding all these details. So here on this slide, now after talking about the planets and tattvas, what we will cover is signs and the tattvas. So we have Agni tattva, which is represented by your Aries sign, Leo sign, and Sagittarius sign. The next comes your Bhutattva or Earth tattva, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Vayu tattva is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Jal tattva is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And if you notice, these are all trinal signs. So these signs are trine to each other. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, they are trine to each other. They always have 159 relationship. Same thing with Earthy sign, Bhutatva, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. 2, 6, and 10. And then Akash Tattva, again, Vinayakji explained, this is like the binding force. So they are not present in any of the signs because they are pervasive. It is like the void. It is like the space. It is the black hole, right? So it is infinite. So when something is infinite, you cannot quantify it in rashis. Because if you look above, from wherever you are to from wherever you can see, it's all your Akash Tattva, because Akash is unlimited. So that's why there are no signs which can be tied to the Akash Tattva. And then Tattvas also have gender. So your Agni Tattva, Bhut Tattva, and Akash Tattva, they are male Tattvas. And then female Tattvas are Vayu Tattva and Jal Tattva. So there are only 2 Tattvas which are female. So again, 3 male Tattvas, 2 female Tattvas. And then these are the high level Tattvas. So at the time of the birth, these Tattvas also can give birth. At the time of the birth, the Tattva which is running can also indicate the sex of the person, sex of the native. So there is a birth time rectification which we can do using Tattvas. Again, it's a subject by itself, but I'm just giving you a hint of it, like what it means, what is given in the classics. Now then we have duration of Tattvas. So this is the duration of each Tattva. So each Tattva will rise for this particular duration of time, and this time that you see here is in the Pal.
Sir, what is the scale for this? Is it years or what?
This is the Pal. This is the Ghati and Pal. So Hindu division of time. So these are all Palas. So in Pal. So your 60 Pal makes 1 Ghati, and 1 Ghati has 24 minutes. Okay, I think we've covered like a lot of things, right? So now we'll talk about like how do these Panchatattvas affect the personality of a native? I think many of you asked this question, right? So how do we know what is the main characteristic of the native based on the Tattvas? So we look at Tattva at birth, Tattva of rising ascendant, Tattva of rising Navamsh, planets in ascendant, and Mahadasha Lord. Again, Mahadasha Lord, so what I mean here is that, so everybody goes through like 5 Mahadashas, 6 Mahadashas, Vimshotri Mahadashas, right? So as the Mahadashas change, our personality also undergoes a change. So during the Mahadasha of Jupiter, you will behave differently than the way you will behave in the Mahadasha of Rahu. Right? We all know Mahadasha has a lot of impact to our personality. They add their flavor. They add the flavor of the planet and the placement of that planet in our chart. Right? So the Mahadasha Lord also has a lot of impact on the personality, our personality. So if we consider these 5 points, we'll be able to understand like what is the nature of the person, of this native, or whoever has come to you, right? So you'll be able to understand, and you'll be able to understand their positive points, negative points, like what, right? And in that way, you'll be able to guide them properly, hopefully. So that's the intent. We'll take some examples. So this is an example of somebody who has Tattva at birth is equals to fire, Tattva of rising ascendant also fire, Tattva of rising Navmanch also fire, planets in ascendant were Mercury and Moon. Mahadasha Lord will see to it. Okay. Now, again, a very famous personality, and I'll show you the name in a moment. But here, the point here is, again, you will see like the mix of tattvas. So you will see for all these 5 points, sometimes you will see one tattva repeating multiple times. Sometimes you will see 3 tattvas, 4 tattvas are coming in this, right? So then it becomes little tricky. But if you see a chart like this in which you have fire tattva is coming like 3 times, it's very easy for you to then relate to the personality of the native. So for this example, this is the case of Madonna. Madonna, if you have seen her when she goes onto the stage, full of energy, right? All her moves are so clear. Her music, she will sing, she will dance, right? She will do everything on the stage. She will set, people literally say that she sets stage on the fire, right? So because she has so much of fire in her, right? Basically, all these tattvas, what are they indicating? Like this is the fire. So fire tattva, as we know, lot of digestive fire in the body. Your digestive system is very good, so your complexion is clear, right? And you have a lot of energy because fire energy, we all know fire, all the energy source. Sun is the ultimate source of the energy, and sun has a lot of fire in it, right? Sun, we saw the tattva of sun, planet sun is fire. So there is a lot of fire, right? And this is a way to kind of see how we can use tattvas to identify the characteristics of a person. Kirtanjali ji, you have a question.
How is Tattva at birth and Tattva of rising ascendant different? I have a confusion.
Let me take you to the chart. Then I think it will be much more easier. So again, what I did is I opened the chart. I go to the basic info section through the breadcrumb, and you will find the last section here, which is tattva. So this will tell you the tattva at birth. So this is all your, in the Panchang section of basic info, you will find tattva at birth. So that gives you this section, this part. Now tattva of rising ascendant. So we'll look at the chart. Let me see if I can make it. Okay, so this is our chart, and then what you can see is the sign in ascendant is Leo sign, and we know that Leo sign is your Agni Tattva, right? Then the next was Tattva of rising ascendant, rising Navmanch. We'll go to the Navmanch chart. So her Navmanch chart also is Leo sign. So Leo, we know Agni Tattva. So Tattva rising in Navmanch is also fire element. Planets in ascendant, Mercury and Moon. Mercury and Moon, we know that it is in ascendant. So again, Mercury and Moon. Mercury is earth, Moon is water. So Mahadasha Lord, again, person goes through many phases of life. She was born in Venus Mahadasha. Venus is again Jal Tattva. But as she grew up, as she grew older, she has gone through Sun Mahadasha, Moon Mahadasha, Mars Mahadasha. So again, her personality will have the reflection of tattvas related to these planets, and also the characteristics of these planets will be also become prominent during their Dasha Antardasha. So again, as she goes through different dashas, her nature will change as per the Mahadasha lords. So you can again correlate to what?
I'm still not conceptually clear about how to get the tattva, but we can see in the software. But what is the concept behind that? Like, we know rising ascendant, we know how, and rising ascendant of Navamsh, we know. But tattva at birth, how we find? Like,
Yeah. So tattva at birth, the way to understand tattva at birth is there is a fixed cycle of tattva, and depending on whether if it is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, so the Agni Tattva will rise first. The Jal Tattva will rise first on Monday and Friday. Moon and Venus, Jal Tattva. Prithvi Tattva will rise first on the Wednesday. So likewise, there is and Vayu Tattva will rise first on Saturday. So again, there is a whole calculation aspect to the tattva at birth. So
this is on depending on the weekday and which deity is of that weekday.
The weekday and the time of birth. So from weekday, from the sunrise time till the time of birth, how many minutes, how many seconds have passed, that will determine the tattva at birth.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, in case there is no planet in the ascendant,
then we can ignore this aspect. But if there is any planet which is aspecting the ascendant, then that will also have a say.
Sir, sign lord also matters?
Not the sign lord. I would say if you just take into consideration the rising ascendant, I think that should give you enough clues.
Okay, thank you.
So again, what I've done here is it's one of the ways to use this tattva theory. Again, it has a very broad implication. A lot of things can be inferred, and
you said about the duration, it's minutes or degrees? 15, 30, 45, 60?
Minutes or degrees means?
You gave the duration of the tattvas, no? 15,
Yes, so
30.
They were in palas.
Palas, okay.
Sir, can we take an example of when there is no planet in the ascendant?
Lal Bahadur Shastri, he Tattva at birth is Agni, Tattva of rising ascendant Agni, Tattva of rising Navmanch Agni. There are no planets in ascendant.
And
But
so when
moon
we
was-
see when we see those aspecting, we will only see 159.
The normal aspects, right? So not the Nadi aspect, but the normal Parashari aspects.
So since I've not done either, can you just explain this a little more?
So we know the aspects of the planet, right? So all the planets will aspect the 7th sign from wherever they were placed.
Okay.
Jupiter will aspect Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn have additional aspects. So Jupiter will also aspect fifth sign from where it is placed, and also the 9th sign from where it is placed. Mars will aspect 4th and the 8th sign from where it is placed. Saturn will additionally aspect 3rd and the 10th house from where it is placed. Rahu, people take Rahu as aspects equivalent to Jupiter. So Rahu will aspect your 7th sign, 5th sign, and 9th signs. Ketu, some people will take aspects of Ketu, some people don't. So you can choose either. I mean, if you want to take aspects of Ketu, you can also take aspects similar to Rahu, which is 5, 7, 9.
Mercury and Venus, sir.
Mercury and Venus, they will aspect the 7th house from wherever they are placed.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Mercury,
sir.
Venus, Sun, Moon have only one aspect, which is the 7th aspect.
If a particular tattva is predominating in a chart, like in this case, Agni is predominating. So that means the person will likely to have anger as a predominant character.
So Agni has, yes, so definitely that predominant characteristic, fiery character.
Fiery character.
Yeah, valorous, hunger-stricken, very sharp, learned, emancipated. So we know Lal Bahadur Shastri was not a heavy built person. Fair in complexion, this does not apply because he was supposed to, yeah, there are other factors also.
And
Beautiful
aspects
arms.
will moderate. And any aspect is going to moderate that character.
Correct. And again, it's a complete person, right? So only, yeah, this is one factor, but again, there are other planets which are aspecting. So again, there are more to it. So as I said, don't take it like
literally, it cannot be
correct.
Interpreted.
And a person is always a mix of, like, you will always see like different tattvas playing out at different times. So it's not like.
Do we have a chart where everything, all the 5 are different?
Not all the 5 are different, but I have mixed charts, mixed examples. Like Donald Trump, tattva at birth is Vayu, and tattva of rising ascendant fire. Vayu.
Fire is there.
Lot of fire. We know his personality, right? So he's very outspoken, very outgoing, very straight, direct in his approach, right? So Vayu is also very strong, right? So Vayu can force you, Vayu can push you down, right?
Vayu and fire can go together.
Yes,
they can create more fire.
Yes. So, and then this one, Amitabh Bachchan also, Vayu and Agni. Joe Biden has a very mixed, so water, fire, water, air, fire. So again,
yeah. We have Indira Gandhi's chart.
Indira Gandhi, again, we can always look up.
That would be interesting. Akash Tattva.
Akash Tattva. And then ascendant is Jal Tattva.
Jal Tattva.
D9 is also Jal Tattva. Planet in ascendant is Saturn, Vayu Tattva.
Vayu.
So
That aggression is not coming. No?
yeah, that aggression is
Or maybe it was a fake aggression.
no, or see again the thing is aggression was there, but the aggression was I mean it was like aggressive passive aggression, right? So it is not like I me myself, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to hit you.
Yes.
She will not get into the street fight and all these kind of things, right?
Yeah, but as a public servant, she did have empathy and compassion. So I
Yes.
guess that's good.
That
To
is
be a good leader, to be a
is
good
Jal.
leader, she really needed that.
That is Jal type of thing. It
Yeah,
takes-
Jal Tattva. Yeah,
It
so
takes
Jal
care of
Tattva
that.
is correct.
So,
Moon
sir,
is expecting the Lagna, na, sir? So Moon must be also having some.
Moon is also Jal.
Correct.
Vayu is there. It gives a very broad idea. Definitely.
Yeah, it gives a very broad idea. But again, my session is mostly, I will consider my session to be successful if you are able to understand the meaning of Panchatattvas. Don't worry about too much about the examples. But
Yeah,
if
that's
you
true,
understand, like,
that's
yeah,
At least
because this is very broad. Again, this you cannot say that this is going to work literally in all cases. This is not a snapshot prediction technique. This is
but
just giving you hints about.
Saptarishis is having this tattva in their basic information, but Jevra does not have.
Yes. And again, there is a whole birth time rectification thing.
sorry.
There is
Sorry,
a whole birth time rectification method is there related to
Yes.
tattvas at birth. Again, that's again very broad topic. I was talking with Vinayakji some weeks back, and he was planning to have like a full course on the birth time rectification. So Vinayakji,
but is there a table available for this tattva time?
Yeah, so this tattva time, there are, I know that at least there are two different ways of calculating the tattvas and antar tattvas are there. One is from the book of Sri R.K. Das. So he has given his own method of calculating like what tattva is running at what time of the day. So in his book, Rectification, this book, Birth Time Rectification.
What is the name of this?
Birth time rectification.
Birth time rectification.
By R.K. Das.
I have this book.
Yeah, so this one has a different method. Then there is a method which PVR Rayadu gives. He has, I mean, you can read his book. Nadi Astrology. He has a book on Nadi Astrology, and if you can also find his article on his website. So PVR Rayadu. P.S. Shastri has also written on birth time rectification using tattvas. So P.S. Shastri, new approach to birth time rectification. So again, there are three different schools of thoughts about how to use tattvas for doing the birth time rectification.
That book is complicated book.
Yeah, this is very
a complicated book.
Very complicated. I mean, it's a very, I had
high level thing.
Yeah.
These are complicated, but the methods are not clearly explained.
Not clearly explained.
So until and unless if someone is not guiding you now, so it is very
Difficult
tough to understand. Also, there are a lot of calculations. Okay, so
lot of calculations.
Nobody prefer to do those calculation manually.
Nowadays, correct.
Okay, so that's why in this app, Vidhan sir is soon adding
it-
BTR module
this
also.
is
Okay, so by using that BTR module, we can do it easily. But again, that module gives you 70%, 60% of things which we require for the PTR. Rest of things, at least
Right.
40% we need to do ourselves.
Yes.
That conclusion part. Okay, so this Pancha Tattva BTR, by using this Pancha Tattva method, and all calculative things we will do in this app.
It
Okay,
is
so at
one of the
least-
methods which can be used for checking.
Actually, if we talk about the Vedic Jyotish, so in Vedic Jyotish, there are only 4 methods, which is given in classical book. Okay, and this Pancha Tattva method is not one of them. This is the 5th one. Okay, so this is a newly developed, or we can say, after doing a lot of research. Okay, so authors comes up with this kind of theory, Pancha Tattva, but this Pancha Tattva method is not given in any classical book, as much as I know. Okay, only there are 4 methods of BTR. Out of 4, 2 is directly given by God. Okay, and at the end of chapter, he says to Agastya Rishi, okay, I have given you 2 methods of BTR in the same Upadesh. Okay, now it's your duty to find out other 2 methods which exist. Okay, so if you read rest of other books of Agastya Rishi and the student of Agastya Rishi, you will find all 4 methods. And within that 4 methods, 2 methods are given in Prashna Marga itself. Okay, now this Pancha Tattva method is the 5th one. So every method have their what we call a benefit, advantage and disadvantage both. Like all those 4 methods is applicable only to rectify the time within the duration of, let's say, 10 minutes or 5 minutes of duration. You can rectify your D60, D81, D108. At this level, we can do rectification. That is given in our classical books, but we don't pay attention, so we don't know this. But this Tattva method at least can give you the broad range of time,
Yes.
approximately 30 minutes or something like this. It depends upon the duration and all. Now you have to narrow down it. Now, like we can use D9 to rectify at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes of duration. And then we apply 2 more methods to narrow down the time. Now it depends upon person to person like how much accuracy he needs. Sometimes we are happy with only Lagna. Okay, you are doing with the using only D1. You are doing all your predictions. You don't require that a minor calculation in BTR. No? You can play with only Lagna, which changes every 2 hours. But there are some people who need I need D9 also. So they can rectify D9. Okay, but there are extraordinary people who require D60 and D81 also. Okay, so for them, we have this 4 BTR methods. But also, before you go for those methods, this Tattva method is required. This is the need of today. So, after applying this Pancha Tattva method, then we go for the traditional method. It will give you good results. Now again, there is a disadvantage with this BTR also. Because this is again giving you only smaller duration of time. But what happens, let's say if you have 2 Lagnas, you are giving me you don't know your time and you are saying, okay, there are difference of 2 hours or 5 hours of duration. Then what to do? Now this 5 hours of duration, if you require BTR, this Pancha Tattva method is also not helpful. Then there is only one method that is universally accepted and even K. Rao is doing, that is a event verification based BTR. So for that, you need very sound understandings of Karak Tattva and all basics of Jyotish. If you don't know the qualities of each ascendant, you can't fix the ascendant. Like in this chart, there is Cancer Lagna. If I say, okay, I have a difference of 6 hours. So within that 6 hours, my Lagna may be Gemini, maybe Cancer, maybe Leo. So at least you should have an understanding of all Lagnas, all 3 Lagnas. You can just verify the event, then apply, then I will apply maybe BCP, maybe Vimshotri Dasha. So by event corrections, by matching your past events and all, I need to first fix the Lagna. And then we can go for the Panch Tattva method. So within that Lagna, we can fix the time span of 20-30 minutes, that's in something like this. And then we can fix the D9. Then we apply rest of other 3-4 methods. That will give you accuracy of approximately, I think, 48 second. Vidhanji, am I right? Approximately 48 seconds till
48 seconds. Yes.
Till this second level we can rectify our charts.
Correct.
Okay, so there are a lot of things we need to cover while we discuss the BTR. And this is the starting phase. Again, one of the most reliable method is only event-based method. Master that thing first, because whatever courses you all are doing, so in every course you are doing the timing of events, correct? And predicting the marriage and all. So this is the first thing which we need to apply in the chart. Once you fix the Lagna, then only you can go for the minor. Otherwise, no use of doing it. There is no any shortcut method.
They cannot be.
Yeah.
Hey, any other questions? I think, I think I've covered like examples. So we know the Tattvas, 5 Tattvas, characteristics of each Tattvas, right? Planets and relationship with Tattvas, Rashi and the Tattvas, duration of Tattvas, the gender represented by these Tattvas. So all of this we have covered so far in today's session. We also covered some examples. Again, very broad topic, but my goal was to give you introduction to Tattvas, the world of Tattvas, and hopefully that will help you to build your understanding of Tattvas and also help you correlate the Tattvas to the native and the person, and obviously, as I said, Tattvas are omnipresent. They are available. They're here, there, everywhere, right? So it's a very broad subject, and this is just an introduction. Any final questions before we disperse?
So my question is how to balance tattvas?
How to balance Tattvas? I believe you can choose whichever method you feel convenient. People do meditation to balance your Tattvas. You can listen to music and be in a stable state of balancing yourself. So I mean, you can, whichever method suits you well. Listening to music helps. Sometimes people, if they want to exercise, it helps them to calm down or balance themselves. Meditation is a great way of balancing the Tattvas. But again, depending on from where you are coming and where you want to go, and again, what situations, what is your inclination, those method will work for you.
Also, like you're asking about the Tattva balancing. So in Jyotish, we need to merge this particular topic with Ayurveda. So in Ayurveda, it's not only about taking some herbs or medicinal thing. Ayurveda is teaching you the way of living. Okay, holistic way of living. So that is only about the balancing tattva. Okay, like in which season, what should you eat, what should you avoid, correct? Your sleeping cycle, everything that is designed by the Ayurvedic routine will take you to this tattva balancing. Okay, so there are two different things. One is the body type, like your individual tattva balancing. Okay, that you are born with this. Okay, but with every season, it will change. It's not fixed always. Okay, so one is your body type, and depending on the nature, with every season, you will see slightly changes in that type also. Okay, there is a method in Jyotish, like by using the transit method and all, we can check on regular basis. Okay, now you can merge Nadi Shodhan also with this. Nadi Shodhan means like we have 3 Nadis, okay, Adi, Madhya and Antya. So in earlier days, every Jyotishi are able to read Nadis also. Like when I used to learn Jyotish, so very first chapter, from first day, they taught us to check our Nadis. तो हमें पता नहीं होता था हम करते क्या था, बस हमको बोला जाता था कि पहले आप इसको 10 मिनट आप फील करें बस. And slowly after 1 month, 2 months, they taught us like how to analyze this nadi things. Okay, so these are the methods through which you can diagnose. Okay, I'm saying about diagnose, then depending on the your lifestyle, Ayurvedic lifestyle and all, there are many methods to balance our tattvas. That may be meditation also, yoga also, everything.
Yoga, pranayam, these are all the methods which are given in our classics books, right? So all rishis will tell you that, okay, meditation, but meditation under what? People will do meditation under the water also, right? But depending on the person, right? So again, the form of meditation will also vary. And Deshkal Patra always applies. Body type, not everybody can do meditation in let's say in desert. So they will do meditation on tattvas. They will go to desert and they will still feel they are shivering. They will feel even in the hot, arid weather, they will feel very cold. So again, there are different kind of people. Again, depending on what you want to achieve. So different, yeah.
And for Jyotishi, like you are learning Jyotish and all, so I can recommend you at least start with the Ayurvedic way of living. Okay, you can read about this, or else we can do one session on this. Okay, like especially by focusing on Jyotish, like you are learning something related to Veda. So as per this, how to maintain our lifestyle. This you can do. Okay, and you all should read Swara Shastra. Okay, Swara Vigyan we call it. There is a whole Shastra in this, in which Lord Shiva is teaching Parvati about this Shastra, Swara Vigyan. And Swara Vigyan can be helpful to you at this beginning stage. We can balance these tattvas only by maintaining your breathing. Okay, how to shift your breathing pattern, okay, how to regulate it. There are a lot of things covered in this. So at least you should read basics of Ayurveda and basics of Swara Shastra. You start with these things, we can balance our tattvas. This is what every Ayurvedic doctor is doing. Okay, by diagnosing your nadi, or there are many methods in the Ayurveda to diagnose these things. So Veda is only watching your tattva, okay, Vak with Kapha. Now this Vak with Kapha is again connecting with your Panch Tattva only. So when they balance this Vak with Kapha, they are balancing your Tattva. So now they know this method. Okay, how to play with this Vak with Kapha and how to balance and all. So they will suggest you to change your lifestyle. They will suggest you to change your behavior. Okay, like this, they will give you different advices. Okay, so you can, if you know any Ayurvedic doctor, you can talk to them. Okay, depending on your body type, they can suggest you something. Or if you want to do self-study, self-analysis, so you should read some basics of Ayurveda plus this Swara Shastra. This is the primary thing which we require.
Sir, we have any book on Swara Shastra? What is the name of the book?
See, if you like this Swara Shastra is a very classical book. Okay, it's not a modern author book. So obviously you will find it in the dialogue or in conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati. Okay, and there are a lot of translations are available. Now, if you ask me which is the best translation, there is no any best translation available. You can see the literal translation only. Obviously, you need someone to teach this. Okay. Because
Yeah, but I think he was asking about the name of the book. So Shiv Sarvodaya is the name of the book.
Yeah, Shiva Sarvodaya. Shiva Sarvodaya. Also, if you want to connect these whole Shastra purely with the Jyotish, so there is one book, we call it Narpati Jayacharya. Okay, Narpati is the name of that Muni or Rishi or the author. He is not a Rishi, he is Acharya. Okay, like we have Varami here, Acharya. So similarly, we have Narpati Jayacharya. So name of book is a Narpati Jayacharya only. Okay, so you will find it. This book is available in Sanskrit and Hindi both. English translation is not yet done. We are trying to do it for many years, but still it's incomplete. Okay, so that Narpati Jayacharya actually contains that whole subject with Jyotish element. Or else if you directly read that Shiva Sarvodaya, there is no any direct relation with the Jyotish, but yes, if you are smart enough, you can connect those things.
Even in the Prashna Marga, you have some shlokas on Swar Shastra. So
yes, chapter number 2 and 3. I think.
So some missing elements can be worked on this way.
what do you mean missing elements?
Supposing someone does not have any two of the tattva.
So see, our bodies are all made up of Panch Tattvas. You cannot say that a person does not have any of one Tattva. You cannot survive.
True. But jaise we did the 5 to see the personality, we saw at birth, rising ascendant, rising Nomansh, then planets in ascendant, Dasha Lord. Now supposing in all of that, some tattvas are missing. Like we saw, predominantly fire. So the rest of the tattvas are not present. So how do they balance that?
No, you don't have to balance that, right? So you are born with fire tattva. So let's say Madonna, right? So she's born with fire. So let her play with the fire. I mean, let her do what fire is supposed to do.
Okay.
Right. So you cannot say that, okay, because you are born in fire tattva, you need to have characteristics of Jal tattva, you need to mingle with the people. I mean, let's not try to force fit everybody in the same in the same frame, right? So everybody is different. Let the differences remain. Otherwise, the world will be like the 5 fingers, right? So each finger is, some are big, some are small, right? So it's the nature. So just know the nature and just be the best version of what you are, right? So I think we don't have to invoke other tattvas. Just if you have too much of fire, you need to understand that your anger can be a negative trait, and if you can channelize that energy into some constructive work, that's it. That's all you need to succeed and win in this life. You don't have to say that, okay, you need to tone down yourself and be like more like invoke your Jal Tattva, and no, that does not work. You just have to channelize the energy in a more constructive way. Okay.
Yes.
All right then.
Ask something.
Yes.
So depending on what we saw today, I have like 2 lines of thought. I just wanted to ask if I'm thinking right. So Rashis have tattvas and so do planets. So in a particular chart, there can be, we can see which tattva Rashis have more number of planets than, and which are empty. So it can be that there are more number of planets in, say, Earth Rashis, Earth Tattva Rashis, or Fire Tattva Rashis. That is one way of thinking. We can say that that Tattva is predominant in that chart. And another way is like planets, which Tattva, when we see strength of planets, we can individually analyze each planet and see which Tattva planets are more strong than others, and we can then correlate like which, if if one Tattva Rashi is more dominant and the same Tattva planets are also more dominant, then that Tattva will be like, we can say, we can mix it and see which Tattva is predominating. Is it right?
You are thinking in the right direction. The thing is, it's a Pandora's box, right? You cannot cover everything.
I
There are
just wanted a
books.
confirmation if this direction is right. That's all.
So there are books written on this subject, right? Your four Purusharth. So somebody has written a book on four Purusharth, right? So Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha. How to see what is the purpose of a person's life, where his energy will be more devoted, right? So is it about Dharma or is it about Earth? Again, I don't want to name the person and the book, but most of you, I see some faces smiling, so I know whom I'm talking about. But in that way, I mean, they have kind of taken these subjects and then kind of elaborated, expanded on these subjects. If you know the basics, you will be able to understand like the way of thinking, like how to think about all the, in so many different direction, and to be able to understand the logic which is underlying these. I mean, you can write books, you can write 5 books, right? But if you know the basics, you can easily understand the concept, and you can probably write your own book.
Book regarding. Sorry, I missed something. I think. Can you repeat what we are discussing right now?
So basically, what
I
you are saying is,
I asked if in a chart, like we see that more planets are there in a particular Tattva Rashi, we can say that that Tattva is dominating. And similarly, planet-wise, when we see every planet individually, their strengths, if we see that particular Tattva planets are more strong in a chart, we can say that that Tattva is dominating. And then we can mix like which Tattva is dominating in a chart. So that line of thinking I wanted to confirm, that is.
Yeah, this is how we're doing it, no? So this is the method, like we can check the dominancy of Tattva and all. This is given in, I think there's the one book, Ayurvedic Astrology, if I'm correct, by Dr. David Foley.
Yeah, actually David Foley has given like the predominance of Pridosha. He has not talked.
Yeah. He is giving in terms of Akpit and Kaf.
Correct.
Not on the basis of this Pancha Tattva.
Correct.
But no issues. If that kind of book is not available, then that's a good thing for me, because I'm working on one book, Ayur Jyotish. Okay. So the first volume, we are working on it, which is completely on the basics of medical astrology. Okay. But in volume 2, I think we are covering the complete Ayurvedic Jyotish, which deals with the Tridosha, Vakpit Kaf, and this Panchatattva. Okay, so how to diagnose and all these things. So we'll talk in very detail. And Kritanjali is also working on that project. So sooner or later, she will be able to understand this. Or else we can do one session on it, with answer. Like every Saturday we are doing something, so we are picking one topic. So maybe someday we can pick a topic of Ayurvedic Jyotish also, in which we can club both.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a lot of topics on which we can discuss there.
Sir, I think it is more concerned with the material we are born with. Like our body is made, we divide the chart into different, like we see as what your body is made of, what is your lagna, or like in which area of the body which Rashi is, it is placed. So we can see it that way, that like we are made with the material. It shows the material. Like some, I take a example of glass. So one glass is made of crystal and one glass is made of steel and like other materials. So we can check it as it is a like a way of seeing to it is we can use it more in the medical astrology also.
Yeah.
Like we are
this is a part of medical astrology itself.
Yeah, we are made with like when I was studying yoga MA, they taught us, there was a Ayurveda lecture, they taught us that you cannot change your tattvas. You can just balance it. You are given all the 5 tattvas, but 2 are mainly prominent, which is working on you. And your nature will also be based like that, and your home vastu will also be like that, and you will find the way of like your business or the way of earning, or the nature will always push you towards that angle of working, because if your way of thinking will already will the thoughts will come accordingly, and you will be easily drawn towards, like somebody is doing business like as a gold material, somebody is in building construction, and somebody is doing liquids, so you will be drawn towards automatically, it will come to you. And like this they taught us.
No,
I don't know it is right or not.
No, this is right, but partially right. Okay, so now see, you have to look this subject in a holistic manner. So there's a word called holistic. So there are multiple things are clear. Now the problem with our teaching, whatever we are learning, the method. Okay, so we are looking from top. Okay, like let's say you are looking your chart. Okay, from the grosser level. Okay, so we can pick only 9 planets, and we are correlating this thing with the either with Vat with Kaf, okay, or as Panchatattva. Okay, but you have to understand you are dealing with Vedic Jyotish. Okay, so when we say the word Veda, okay, so there are 40 dimensions in it, not 2 and not 3. I'm saying 40 dimensions. The 40 angles you have to look into it. But you are using only 2D or 3D methods right now. Okay, we are using only Panchatattva and this Tridosh. Okay, but there is a way, there is a hierarchy to look this chart. Okay, if you want to go into more deeper. Okay, so in Vedana we have, let's say, Jyotish. Okay, then Ayurveda, we can club both. Okay, and then if you go into more deeper and deeper, like you are a student of yoga and all, you can understand there is a subject. Yoga philosophy. I'm not saying about the physical exercise yoga. I'm saying about yoga chitta vritti nirodha. That is what Patanjali Rishi says. Okay, there is a deeper philosophy in this. We call it Sankhya. Okay, so if you see in that angle, so in between them there is the Sthapatya Veda also. You know what is Sthapatya Veda? That is Vastu. A modern day Vastu. Okay, but in Veda we call it Sthapatya Veda. What is a Sthapatya Veda means? स्थापना है ना, स्थापना बोलते हैं ना कि स्थापना करते हैं मूर्ति का. The word स्थापत्य coming from that शब्द. स्थापत्य means establishing something. Okay, so that स्थापत्य Ved, Ayurveda, okay, Jyotirved, even yoga and Sankhya, everything is clubbed in single vision. This is the whole Vedic Jyotish mean. Okay, so when we say can we change the tattva? Obviously, you can't go beyond the nature, or you can't change the law of nature. So there is no method of changing the tattva. Okay, you can just balance it. Okay, but the ability to change the tattva is there, but not on the level of Sthapatya or Ayurveda or on Jyotish level. That is possible only with the yoga level. That is possible. Okay, but there is a very difficult thing because we need to play with consciousness and whatever the this Vat Pitta Kapha we are discussing. Okay, so those like the in between these 3 tattvas, we need to balance it. Like some people may have dominancy of Vat, so depending on them, Ayurveda doctor suggests them something, and their body type, their behavior. These all things are based on the dominancy tattva. Vat, Pitta and Kapha. Okay, so some people may have this Pitta. Some people have 2 different tattvas dominancy. So depending on them, their body constitute, their nature, all things are different. But as a Jyotishi, at the end of Jyotish, you will understand like everything is based on consciousness only. Okay, now that consciousness, how that is manifesting, like Patanjali says, yoga chitte vritti nirodha means what? That obstructions or the what you call that cessation of the vrittis. It means when you dissolve all your vrittis, whatever is left, that is the state of yoga. So when you reach to that level, na, so automatically your all three dosh will balance. Okay, so you don't require to follow any physical exercise or any medicines and anything. Okay, that is the ultimate thing. Okay, but we don't study those things, so we are studying only the balancing with the medicines and something we can change the nature and all. But you are doing everything on the superficial level. Okay, so you should study Jyotish as a holistic manner, club Ayurveda in it, yoga in it, then you will see the beauty is something else. Whatever we are seeing in the Jyotish, you will start seeing in 4 dimensions or 5 dimensions like this. So although we don't have complete branch of Jyotish available with us right now, so whatever is left, at least we can utilize those things. And this medical Jyotish is not only about playing with 9 planets. As I am saying, you can merge yoga philosophy, Ayurveda, Stapatya Ved, and this Jyotish. If you club only these 4 things, you can do miracles. Without medicines also there is a treatment possible in Jyotish. Not like donation and all, like nowadays we say, go and donate these things, so this problem will resolve. No. So when we say Stapatya, Ayurveda and Yoga, the remedies, there is a different varieties of remedies available for us. So you are a student of Yoga, so you can do it. So start thinking in that manner.
Sir, we are taught that the two main these tattvas, these are dominating, like these are main in every person. So that you can check with the nadi you told in the beginning. So if we are suggesting some business or whatever or medicine, so we have to make that a basics of prediction, that two main tattvas which are dominating in this personality can show up in the world. You know,
yes,
this is that, like you initially took the example of Madonna. Fire was predominating, and the world saw her as burning fire. Like she presented herself, and it was seen by the world. So we cannot deny that. So we can take more examples on this line, like which two tattvas are predominating, and is the personality showing up that way? Like this thought was coming to my mind.
That is a correct thought, and this is the only way which you can use. So this is the easiest way which we should follow.
Yeah,
but
this is the easiest way we can say that.
So by this way you can understand the behavior, the way of thinking, that native, everything we can decide easily. Again, if you are expert in Ayurveda, if you know how to play with this Vak, Pitta and Kapha, you can do many things in this.
Yeah.
Because again, this Vak, Pitta, Kapha is dealing with Panchtattva.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go from Ayurveda to Jyotish, or else you can go from Jyotish to Ayurveda. So both will give you same result. This is the beauty of Vedic.
I wanted to like educate myself in that direction.
Yeah,
I want to do that. That is why I took up like just yoga and meditation as my MA last year. I did that.
No, you should do it, and without meditation, there is no point of learning Jyotish. This is a basic criteria for this Jyotish subject. Okay, and read Patanjali Yoga Sutra as much as possible.
Yeah.
It will give you more deeper insight in Jyotish.
Yes.
Okay, so
we studied Sankhya Yoga. We studied many things, and Ayurveda was a part also. And now I am clubbing it with Vastu also, and I am seeing that why a person has chosen like career in this direction, whether the chart is showing this or not, or the nature what is the nature and what are the tattvas which is like supporting, which are supporting. So
Yeah. No,
this
that
way
is.
I am learning. Thank you. It was a nice talk with you.
Thank you, Renji. Vidhan sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will meet same time next Saturday
Next Saturday with different topic.
with
The topic is
different
decided, or you will give us topic.
No, I think the topic we can probably take like circular chart.
Circular chart. No.
Yes, sir, because I was actually thinking on these lines. Western astrology, they take a predominance of tattva based on which planets are in which sign. So if you have more in earth sign, according to them, your tattva will, your personality will be more, based on that. But Vedic is totally different.
No, Vedic is not totally different. Okay, that concept of tattva is coming from Vedic
Coming
only.
from Vedic.
But like, in Western astrology, my predominance is in earth and in water. And literally just these two, fire is totally missing from my chart. I have only one planet, that too Ketu in Sagittarius. So fire is totally missing from my chart. But and I was just calculating Abhi right now with what I've done. And here I have a predominance of fire. Totally different.
No. See, what Vidhan sir is teaching right now, that's just beginning. So that you are learning just a tip of iceberg. It's not a complete thing. So when you say I am searching for this tattva like which is dominant in my chart, so you should understand what you are doing right now. You are picking the planet in sign. Okay, that is just the beginning. That is not a whole thing. Okay, because you are putting one planet of the dominant tattva holding in sign. Correct? Now you have to understand that sign is not made up of 5 elements. Only 4 tattva in this sign. That's why there is one set of people who thinks Rashi is not considered in Jyotish. Okay, they don't consider Rashi. They only pick nakshatra and houses. Why? Because Rashi play with only four things, 4 tattva. Okay, so now when you use planet and Rashi only, so you are doing something wrong. Look, that is not a complete system of seeing the tattva in chart. So there is more to it. Okay, so wait for some time. So maybe after circular chart we can discuss that topic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once we see that, you will realize what Westerners are doing. That is, I'm not saying completely opposite, but they are doing half analysis. Okay, so as I told you, with Renuji, you can this Jyotish is a Vedic knowledge. So when we say Vedic, so there are different dimensions to it. Okay, so in Jyotish, Ayurveda is combined with Stapatya and all. So when we combine the Ayurveda, so you are bound to predict the accurate nature of that person by what with Kaf and this Panchtattva. So don't worry. So we have that accurate method because we are clubbing Ayurveda. Okay, so whatever, I don't know what Westerners are doing, so I can't comment on that. But you will not see contradictory. Okay, you will see either accurate or you don't know the method. There are only 2 possibilities. Okay. So there is nothing wrong in Vedic Jyotish. The only problem is we don't know this.
No, definitely, because Western astrology is stemming from Vedic Jyotish only.
Yeah. So if they talk on the basis of tattva, so where that tattva word is coming? That tattva is given by Veda philosophy only, no?
Yeah.
तो उनके पास वो तत्व 5 होते हैं, ये तुमको पता भी नहीं था. There is no mention of 5 elements. 5 elements is given by us. Now the problem is we ourselves is not following that system, but Westerners are following, and we are reading their books. Okay, so we think no, whatever is Westerners are writing, that is more well researched. but we are not ready to read Chokamba publication books.
They're easier to understand.
Yeah, easier to understand, but in that easiness, we are missing many things. You know, if you are good at Hindi or at least Sanskrit, or you know Hindi, then you should read Chokamba publication books. Those are original source. First translations, either in Sanskrit or in Hindi, is coming from Chokamba publications. So these knowledge of Jyotish and Ayurveda, authentic knowledge, at least in the books, is available in with Chokamba publication only. But the problem is we don't bother to read those books. But when the same Westerners take the books from Chokamba and mix up and do their own research and all, and they publish the book, we read it. And we thought, oh, what big things they are doing. Okay, but being an Indian, you should proud of our knowledge and read the original sources of this knowledge. Okay, as I told you, Dr. David Foley book is the first book from which you can start. Okay, so it is a very beautiful book on the Ayurveda, and there are many more books available with us. So maybe we can do one session on it with answer, no?
Yes.
Especially dedicated to Ayurveda and Jyotish.
Mm-hmm.
That would be very good, sir.
Thank you. So any other doubts or questions? Okay, I think no question with answer.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Have a
Next
good week.
week with new topic of circular chart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Very interesting class.
Thank you,
See you
sir.
next week.